So hello all of you. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video we are starting with the PL SQL. So in the previous videos we had covered all the stuff associated with the SQL. So if you have any queries regarding SQL, you can watch our previous videos regarding SQL. So in today's video we will start with the PL SQL. What exactly are the subtopics in the PL SQL we'll cover in the upcoming videos. So basically, if you are attending any interview, there might be a question on what is the basic difference between SQL and PLSQL. So you should understand, you should try to answer the question like what is the basic difference. So let's start with this session. So let's see what is SQL. So SQL is a structured query language and PLSQL is a procedural language which is extension for SQL. That means SQL can be implemented in the PLSQL, but PLSQL cannot be implemented in the SQL. So again, if you talk about difference, so in SQL, simple commands or at a time single commands or statements can be executed, but in PLSQL, the block of code can be executed. So in SQL, the commands like DML and DDL can be executed, and in PLSQL, we can execute procedures, functions, triggers, and so on. So this would be a basic difference between SQL and PLSQL. So you should know the basic difference. So now next, let's move in detail about PLSQL. So PLSQL is a combination of procedural and data manipulation language. So this PLSQL was introduced. So Oracle 6.0 has introduced this PLSQL. So as I stated earlier, PLSQL is a block structured. So basic syntax of PLSQL block is, you can see first you have to declare. So the declare part is present, which is optional. So in this section, what you are going to declare is, you will be declaring about variables, you will be declaring about cursors, you will be declaring about undefined exceptions. So we'll cover about variables, cursors, and undefined exceptions in the upcoming part. Then next is begin block. So in block there is a begin part. So this begin part is mandatory. So in begin part you can write DML statement, TCL statement, then select into clause is there, then conditional statements, control statements. Likewise, it is about begin block. The next is exception. So in exception, again it is optional. In this exception, the exception handling is done. So handling of exception is done in the exception. Then last it is end. So this is overall block of the PLSQL. So now let's move in detail about this stuff. So basically there are different types of blocks. We have named block and anonymous block. So what is the named block? So name block means the block which is having name. So automatically it is stored in the database. So again, in the name block it has a certain name, and when you are firing the query of the name block, it automatically stores in the database. So for example, we have procedures, functions, triggers, packages, etc. All this are the named blocks. So we will discuss in detail about procedures, functions in the upcoming videos. Next we have anonymous block. So what is this anonymous block? The block which is having no name, that is called as anonymous block. Then in anonymous block, it is not stored in the database. So again there might be a question in interviews, what is basic difference between named and anonymous block? So you will observe over here that the difference in anonymous and name block is, the name block is having name and anonymous block is having no name. Also, named block automatically gets stored into the databases and anonymous block is not stored in the databases. Next, about anonymous block, allowed all these blocks in the another blocks or in the client application. So you can see the basic syntax. I have given over here basic syntax of anonymous block. So in this video, totally we will cover about anonymous block, and in the upcoming videos we will cover about this named block, which consists of procedures, functions, triggers, packages, and so on. So let's see in detail about this anonymous block. So this is a basic syntax. So we have to declare, there is a declare section in which we have to declare the variables, cursors, and so on. And we have to write in begin section all the DML statements, whatever operations you are interested to do. All these operations are written in the begin block and last is end section. Now let's see what is variable. So variables are declared in this variables declare section. So let's see what are the variables. So variables are used to store a single value into the memory location. So syntax to declare a variable is variable name, its data type and size. So during the creation of the table, I hope you have created a column. So during the creation of column, you declare a column name, its data type and size. So likewise, the variable is also declared. So let's take an example of variable I have written here. So variable A I want to declare whose data type is number and size is 10. Also, you can declare another data type that is varchar2. So the variable name you can write any name like department name or employee name. Then varchar2 it is data type and its size. So this is how we can declare the variables. So let's move on in detail about variables. So variables are declared in the declare section. Then display message or variable value, we can display it by using the command dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. Into bracket you can write simply a variable name. If you want to print the data or any variable, you can write this command. So this command prints whatever the variables or whatever input you are giving into this function. So this is how the dbms works. Let's take a simple example. So I have taken a begin block and end block. In this block, I have taken a simple variable. So directly I have added a string, or we can say it is a character. So I have added a string into this print line, or we can say a dbms underscore output underscore line, which is going to print the value whatever you are providing into this column, it will be printed. So let's try to run this code. So before, when you log into the server or when you log into the application, when you open the application, first task is set server output on. So first I am setting the server output on. So I'm clicking and I'm running this part. So it will set server output on, and then you can do the stuff, remaining steps or any other steps regarding the block. So begin block, in begin block I have written the print statement and end block. So if I run this query, you will see the output as Pramod. You will see this is output Pramod. If I run this block, you will see this is output. So PLSQL procedure successfully completed. So this will be the message in the console. Now let's take a different example about this block. That is, this will be the basic code, very basic code for your better understanding. So let's try to declare a variable in the declare section. So as I stated earlier, the body of this block consists of declare section, then begin section and end part. So in declare section, we are declaring the variable. So declare, I am declaring the variable called as a, whose data type is number and its size is 10. And in begin section, I am assigning the value for this variable a, which is of number type. So I am assigning the value as 60. So let's see the syntax of assignment. So colon and is equal to should be used for assigning a value for the variable in the block. Now I am allocating the value a as 60, and let's try to print the variable by using a. So dbms underscore output dot put underscore line value of a. Now see, focus on this part. So this part, whichever I have written in the single inverted commas, it will be printed as it is on the console, and I have concatenated this with a variable. So for readability, I have written over here value of a dash dash, and I have concatenated with the a as a variable. So a variable has been assigned with 60. So the value should be 60. So let's try to run this code. So if I run the block of code, simple block of code, I will see the output as value of a is 60. So you will see the message also that PLSQL procedure successfully completed. So this is a very basic code. I hope you have got the basic understanding about the code, how the PLSQL code works. So this was about basic code. Let's move on to the next clause. Now the next clause is select into clause. So what is this select into clause? Let's see in detail. So select into clause is used to retrieve data from table and storing into PLSQL variables. So as I stated earlier, we have taken example of the variable also. So this was the variable which we had declared in the declare section. Now In this variable, we are assigning or we are fetching data from the table and we are storing into this variable. So variable is, or in the from the select into clause, we are storing any value from the table. So select into clause is used to retrieve data from the table and storing into the plsql variables. So it always returns a single record or value at a time. So when you are using select into clause, in a single variable, it will store only a single value. So let's take an examples. So let's try to solve some simple examples based on the select into clause. So again, let's take an example. Write a plsql block or write a plsql program for user entered employee number and display the name of employees and salary from the emp table. So let me view or let me show you the data in the emp1 table. So this is the data from the emp1 table. You can see all the data is present. So as per requirement, what the question says that we have to write a plsql program for user entered the employee number. So this is employee number column. So user will enter any employee number from this table, and from this employee number we will get the name of employee and salary of the employee. So this column and this sal column will be written with those will be the output, and emp number will be the input parameter. So emp number will be input parameter will be which will be entered by the user, and ename and sal will be the output parameter which will be returned by the plsql program or plsql block. So let's try to write this code. So select star from emp1. So declare. So I have declared section. So we have declared section. In that I want to fetch v name, that is v underscore name is a ename is a variable which is declared of varchar2 and size is 20. So in this v underscore ename we will be fetching employee name, and then we have begin block. Also let's take one more variable, that is v underscore sal. So as per question, they have asked us to get sal also, salary also. So let's take the size of sal as 10, and next we have begin block. Let me take to the next line for better understanding. So begin block, in begin block again we have select into clause. So in this begin block we will be using select into clause. See the syntax for using select into clause. So select, so what I am interested in, let me show you first data. Okay, so this is our data. So what, as per example, they have asked us to enter the employee number, and we should, the display should be, name should be displayed and employee salary should be displayed. So select, I want to display employee name, that is ename. Over here you can see this is an ename column, comma, then also I want to see the sal. So this is the sal column, into, so I am storing it into a variable. So already we declared variable v underscore ename to store ename, then comma, you can put here comma, and again one more variable we have, that is to store this salary, that is v underscore sal. So let me correct it. Okay, so v underscore sal already we have declared it. So v underscore sal, in this variable the salary will be stored from table name is emp1 table where condition. Now whatever the input is entered will be entered by the user, it will be stored in the where clause, it will be added into the where clause. So emp number is equal to and number. So and number, why am I using this and number? So this will be the interaction. So the block will ask us to enter the number, that is employee number, and after taking employee number from user, the output will be given as it. So let's take an example. Suppose if the user enters employee number as 7902, if he enters 7902, the block will search for this value. So employee number 7902 will be searched, and it will return value of ename and it will return value of sal, that is 3000. Likewise you will get the output. So we will print this output under this print statement, that is dbms underscore output dot put underscore line. So the name of employee is concatenated with this name of employee is and v underscore name. Also you can print the sal on the next line. So I will print sal on the next line. So v underscore, we can write here. So next parameter is v underscore sal. So employee sal is, or we can correct here. So employee salary is v underscore sal. So likewise, let's try to run this code, block of code. So I am selecting this end statement till declare section. So if I run this block of code, it will first ask us to enter the employee number. So let's take employee number as 7902 and let's see whether we are getting output as 4 and 3000. So we'll enter the employee number as 7902. So if I run this code, yes, so enter the number 7902. So if I enter the 7902 as employee number, you will see the output as name of employee, sorry, the name of employee is Ford and employee sal is 3000. So this is our output. So PLSQL block or procedure is successfully completed. So I hope this part is pretty much clear regarding how the user enters the input and how we are getting the values. So again, if you are not interested to take this value from the user, you can hard code it, you can put the value as it is. So if you know the value, that is, let's take an example. If you are interested to fetch the value of 7654, you can hard code it, you can enter the value 7654 hard codedly. Okay, so this part is regarding question number 1. So we have fetched the data of entered employee number by user. Next, assigning a value at a time of declaration for not null, default and constant value. Again, in the declare section, we can assign the values. So suppose, let's see how it works. So in declare section, we have declared a variable called as a whose data type is number 10 and this is not null. So I am directly assigning the value as 30. Similarly, we have second variable b which is constant. So this value will not change. So b is constant, data type is number and its size is 10, which is equal to 20. Next, we have c variable number 10 default value. So again, default value is 10. If at runtime, if c is not assigned by any value, by default it will take 10. So in the begin block, if you are not adding or if you are not assigning the value for the c, by default it will take 10. Next, d variable, simply I have declared, I have not assigned any value for the d. So we will assign this d value in the begin block. So begin section. So first we will try to print all the values which we have assigned in the declare section. So dbms underscore output dot put underscore line a variable. So variable a value is 30, so it will show 30 value. Then b, it will show 20 value. Then c, it will show the 10 value. And last, all the addition I have done in the begin block. So a plus b plus c, that is 30 plus 20 plus 10. It will show the addition of all these three variables. Now in d variable, so d variable was only declared. So d variable I am assigning value as. You will see I am using greatest function. So I hope you know the functions. So if you don't know the functions, you can watch our video in the SQL section regarding the functions. Now D. So D has been declared, which is equal to greatest of A comma B comma C. So it will search all the values of A, B, C, and from this A, B, C, it will fetch only the greatest value and it will store into this D variable. So next will be I will be printing the variable D. So dbms underscore output dot put underscore line greatest is concatenated with D. So D value will be printed, the greatest value among these three values will be printed on the console. So let us try to execute this block. So if I am selecting this block, I am running this block, you will see the output as okay. So let's see how the output is coming. So first was dbms underscore output, we have to show the value of A. So A value was 30. So it is showing 30 value over here. Next, B value was constant 20. So again the 20 value has been shown here. Then C value was 10. Again it is showing 10 value here. Next, addition of all these three, A plus B plus C, it is 60. So 30 plus 20 plus 10 is 60. Next we have greatest of ABC. So the greatest from this three is 30. So this is the output of greatest value. So this was question number second. Now let's move on to the next third question. So in the third question, the requirement is write a PLSQL program to display maximum salary from EMP1 table. So already I have shown you the EMP1 table. So from this EMP1 table, we will be fetching the maximum salary. So let us take a look on EMP1 table once again. Select star from EMP1 table. So let us fetch the data from EMP1 table. So this is our EMP1 table. So as per requirement, we will fetch the maximum salary. So this is our sal column. From this column, we have to fetch the maximum salary. So I hope you know the functions. So by using function of max, we can fetch maximum salary from this column. So in declare section, I have declared a variable to store the maximum salary, that is v underscore max sal, number size is 10. And in begin block, I have written the statement, that is select clause. So select max sal. So from this column, I am using the function called as max into bracket sal. So I'm applying max function on the sal into v underscore max sal. So this was the variable which we declared, max sal from emp1 table. And we are printing dbms underscore output. Max salary is concatenated with the value or the maximum salary which is stored into the variable, that is v underscore max variable. So it will show us the maximum salary from this table. So if we run this block of code, you will see the output as max salary is 20,000. So this was procedure successfully completed. So this is how you can run or you can get data by using this block. So note that we are not allowed to use group function decode conversion functions in plsql expression. Now next question, get details of employee whose employee number is equal to 7902 and increment the salary by 50% from emp1 table. So again, this is a little bit again, this is a basic question, but little bit the data has been the data should be extracted at a certain level. So they have asked us to fetch salary and increment the salary by 50%. So the you can see the data from emp1 table. So let's see the data from emp1 table. Yes, so this is the data from emp1 table. So we are working on the 7902. So let's search the data of or emp number of 7902. So this is the employee number 7902. So what is our requirement? So get details of employee number 7902. So we have to fetch details of employee number 7902 and increase the salary by 50%. So his salary, this salary that is 3000 should be increased by 50%. So let's try to code. So declare section, I am writing, I want to fetch ename, job, sal. So I am fetching employee number, ename, job and salary. And again, incremented salary I am storing into the v underscore sal underscore increment number. So incremented salary will be fetched into the another column. So begin block, in the begin block, I am fetching employee name, select ename, job, sal, next, sal into 1.5. So this sal I am taking. So this will be taken as 3000 into 1.5. Why I am multiplying this 1.5? Because I want to increase the salary by 1.5 means 50%. And I'm storing all this data into the variables which we declared in the declare section, that is ename will be stored in the v underscore ename, that is v underscore ename. Then job is stored into the v underscore job and sal into v underscore sal. Next, maximum sal or the incremented sal will be v underscore sal underscore inc from emp1 table. And last, we have to specify the way condition. If you don't specify the way condition, it will apply for all the columns of the salary. So I don't want that. I want to only apply for the employee number 7902. So I am writing this where clause. So if I run this code or if I see at the next level, so I am printing dbms underscore output. So employee name is, so I am writing employee name, then employee job is, employee sal is, and incremented salary, that is v underscore sal increment. So let us run this code. So I am selecting from the end block till the begin block. So if I run this code, you will see the output. Okay, so there is slight error. Let me see what is the error. Okay, we forgot to select the declare section. So this declare section we have not selected. So that's why the error is. So v underscore sal must be declared. So it is not getting the declaration part. So that's why the error is shown. So let me close this and let us select all the stuff from declare section to end section. We have to select all this part. So this is our block. So declare section should be covered while you are executing this block. So declare section, begin section and end section. So if I run this code together, you will see the output as employee salary is 3000. Okay. Employee name is Ford. Employee job is analyst. Employee salary is 3000 and employee increased salary is 4500. So after increasing the salary is 4500. So 50% increased salary was done. So this was the block of code. Again, this is another method. Only I have used the dual table concept. Instead of this using dual table, you can directly use this block which I have used in this particular part. You can use this code as it is. Don't use this second method because it will be little bit confusing. So we can use the first method. So I hope this part is pretty much clear till here. So in this video we have covered how to declare variable, how to uh, do the manipulation operation, or how to fetch data using the begin block and end block. So in the next video we will cover about next in the next video we will be dealing with the variable attributes, that is those would be column level attribute and row level attribute. So before moving to the next video, I request you to practice the code which we covered in this video. So I will provide all this code in your chat box, or the link of this code will be in the description box. So you will get the code or the source code in your description box. So I hope this part is pretty much clear regarding PLSQL block. So in this video we have covered regarding the anonymous block, that is unnamed, or the block which is having no name. So this stuff we have covered. Also we have covered the select into clause, in which we can store a single variable and we can do the manipulation operation, or we can fetch the desired data based on the where clause. So we'll meet in the next video. So till then, if you have not subscribed to my channel, do subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. So that's all for this. We'll meet in the next video. So thank you all and have a wonderful day ahead.